Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I love that. Oh, really?
You guys, I'm trying to tell you, Belle says hi.
Oh. Should I see it?
She was there. She was there. Yeah. Get it off, yeah. 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 There's a lot of people. It's here. I forgot.
I'm doing my solo, then comes Eva and Icy and Danielle, and this we missed out because already they are having. It means that they should come later, and Kaya and Eva should be second floor.
Yeah, because Tyler and Ava stay there.
Un Eva, dai un Eva.
Yeah, because they weren't here yet. Yeah.
Pēc tā, kad es nodīju solo, jūs abas iznākat, un pēc tam man ir misconnection ar viņām, kas ir datorā. Nevis uzreiz nāk Sandra,
Okay,
Sandra, tad man
to
ar
vajag
viņām
pateikt
pateikt
arī.
viņām. Jā, tad
Jo
jums
mums
sanāk,
īsti vienalga, mēs vienkārši stāvam.
I always want to go to the bathroom every time.
We should probably start. So, 2 minutes. Thank you, too. 2 minutes.
Okay.
Or I just stick here. Because that's what?
I know, and I'm not used to being like light and awake.
Okay, let's get everybody in the scene. So, Bridget, Hannah, Danielle, Julie. Okay, great.
It's actually a little wider than our view shows.
Okay, so I'm assuming my place, which is kneeling before the laptop. So thank you. I'm going to switch over just so you can see our cast in the States. Hannah, can you come down a little bit? Yeah. Okay. So welcome everybody. This is our live performance called Live. It is our culminating showing from a work that we've been, the work is Global Corporeality, Digital Choreography, Collaborative Choreography in Digital Space. You want to translate for me, Rudis? Yeah, I like it. Rudis is going to translate. So I'll start again. You have to come into the camera, though. Okay, so thank you. So this is our live culmination of our project Global Corporeality, Collaborative Choreography in Digital Space.
Šī ir mūsu tiešraides noslēgums šim sadarbības projektam digitālajā.
We've been working, this is our 9th meeting, our 10th meeting, so we've been working once a week for 2 hours, Monday nights here in Latvia from 5:30 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. and in Idaho, they've been working 8:30 until 10:30.
Jā, šī ir mūsu 9. vai 10. tikšanās. Mēs pirmdienās šeit strādājam no 5 līdz 7:30. Un Idaho attiecīgi 9 stundas vēlāk, tas nāk viņiem no rīta. Jā, viss tā.
Okay. Before we get started, I need to provide my thank yous to all the institutions and organizations that have made this possible. So I'm going to read off my laptop here. This creative collaboration, there we go, is made possible by the generous support of the Fulbright Foundation.
Tātad jāpasaka šī projekta īstenošanai Fulbright fondam.
the Institute of International Education,
Starptautiskās izglītības institūtam,
the Council for the International Exchange of Scholars,
starptautisko scholars. Tas kā nav izglītības darbinieki, tā kā izglītības darbinieku apmaiņas programmas padome.
the Latvian Academy of Culture,
Latvijas kultūras akadēmija
and Idaho State University's College of Arts and Letters.
un Idaho štata universitāte mākslas un help any arts and letters. We're not quite sure how to translate that. Let's just stick with
Yeah.
māksla, yeah.
Okay. School of Performing Arts,
I'm getting very confused with this. Tātad skatuves mākslas, jā, skola.
the Obeler Library, our library,
Tad šī
Biblioteka,
tā biblioteka internet, kurā mēs saņemamies materiālus gan video.
our instructional technology program at Idaho State,
Viss šī vispār internacionāla sasaistes programmas nodaļa Idaho, kas veicina tehnoloģiju saziņu. Tā kā.
and most especially the International Programs Office at Idaho State University.
Starptautisko visu šo programmu nodaļa Idaho universitātē.
So thank you for your support and for making this happen. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the process of what we've been doing. Before I came to Latvia, I decided that it would be really interesting to try and do a collaborative choreographic project with students and colleagues from Idaho State University and then the students here at the Latvian Academy of Culture. And so we've been working on this project. It's about using consumer technology. You can see here, so this is our setup. We have one laptop that serves as our camera feed. It is also serving for the projector. So the projector over here is hooked up to the camera. And then we've also got the computer hooked up to a sound system. I'm going to unplug the computer from the speakers so you can hear my voice. And then I'm going to plug it into the iPod player, so we'll just have a little transition. My partner, Paul Zmolik, is doing sound by pushing the iPod, and he's also taking video of the performance, as well as I've also given him a camera to take pictures. And meanwhile, I am live switching on my computer, just going back and forth between the laptop that they have in Idaho. They have 2 laptops set up. And so I'll be switching back and forth between the 3 laptops. Oh yeah, sorry.
Tātad pirms braucu uz Latviju, izdomāju, ka gribu veidot projektu, kas kopā gan ar mūsu šeit studentiem, gan arī ar Idaho studentiem. Un tāpēc tās ideja veidot projektu izmantojot patērētāju tehnoloģijas. Līdz ar to, jā, tas viss mūsu uzstādījums šeit ir 2 laptopi, projektors, un vēlāk, tūlīt, kad mēs sāksim programmu, Joe izraus ārā vadīgs uz mikrofonu un piespēlēs iPodu, ko savukārt Pols kontrolēs mūziku, izmantojot šo te iPodu.
So our process, we started off by brainstorming on the theme of communication, and from that we derived a lot of words that each of the performers were interested in fleshing out some concepts with. And so from that material, I asked them to write some text, just free associating.
Jā, tad mēs pirmā nodarbībā, ko mēs sākām, mēs tik uzrīkot prātu vētra par tēmu komunikāciju, kur katrs mēs metām ārā vienkārši vārdus, kas mums saistās ar šo tēmu. Pēc tam no tā izrietēja nākamais uzdevums, kas bija rakstisks uzdevumi dažādi.
And most importantly to this project, I asked them to create a 4-line poem loosely based on the dyna structure. And so the sound scores, I'm sorry.
Jā,
Please.
tad pirmais uzdevums bija, mums bija jāizveido tā kā četrindītes, kas bija ļoti vaļīgi balstītas uz latviešu dainām, tīri pēc ritma.
And for those of you in the States, a dyna is actually, since I'm not a scholar of this, I'm going to have Rudis explain what a dyna is for our American audience.
Well, basically it's a poem that's divided in groups of 4 or 3 lines, and it has 3 distinguishable rhythm-like structures. That's basically it, I guess.
Okay, and thank you. And from this, each of them wrote 1 to 3 dynas. And from that, I asked them to create a sound rhythm score. And so each performer created a sound score, which is the backdrop for the pieces that they'll be performing. So the performers created their own sound scores based on the dyna structure. They created their own movement based on the words within the dynas that they used. And also some of them created visuals that are posted on our website.
Jā, tad pēc tam no šīm dainām mēs kāds izveidojām arī savus skaņu celiņus. No šīm vārdiem, ko izmantojām dainās, un skaņu celiņiem tika veidotas kombinācijas un kustības. Kas bija? Jā, daži taisa arī ir video. Uz šīm dainām ietekmējoties, un no tā tika arī veidots tas pirmais uzmetums visam šim darbam.
An additional piece of this, so we could learn more about each other, I had asked each performer to either take a photograph or identify a photograph that evoked their sense of place.
Arī, lai papildus kā iepazītu viens otru projektu dalībnieki, bija uzdevums dalīties ar fotoattēliem 2, kas paustu mūsu vietas un telpas izpratni.
And so we posted those on the website as well.
Arī tie tika publiskoti mājaslapā.
We also created movement to those photographs, but we had so much material, I had to edit it down so we would have a manageable chunk with which to create a performance that didn't last 2 hours. But we really have enough material at this point to create a major work, and actually there's another component of this that we have created a major work, which will be performed April 29th, just a little push there.
Un arī no šīm attēliem tika veidota kustība, bet šīs kombinācijas un šīs kustības netika iekļautas šajā darbā, jo tas vienkārši bija pārāk daudz materiāla un nācās izņemt, bet šīs materiāls tiks iesaistīts izrādē, kas jau ir izveidota, ko radīs 29. aprīlī.
Okay, so what you'll be seeing tonight is their movement created by them based on their writings, and the music that they are performing to are their sound scores. I did a little bit of manipulation with them because I needed to extend some of them. So it's all of their work. And to that end, I want to introduce everybody. I always forget to introduce myself. I'm Josephine Garibaldi. I'm from the United States. That's pretty self-explanatory. I'm here on Fulbright, and it's been my privilege to work with the Latvian Academy of Culture. So let's introduce everybody. So let's do this. Let's have the Latvian group introduce themselves and then the States group, okay? So would you come to the camera and introduce yourself as we've been doing? One at a time.
Rūdis.
Maya.
Sandra.
Rūta.
Agate.
Taļa.
Mārtiņš.
Eva.
Jānis.
Анастасия. Elisa. Karina. Alise. Аня. Agate. Anne Birte.
Ivars.
And then in Idaho, Bridget, Julie, Hannah, Danielle. Okay. All right. And so the program order, since I didn't make programs, is here's our program, by the way. Here's all of their writings if you wanted to look at them afterwards. Also, can you pull up this? And this has been, here our whiteboard cue sheet of the different words that they chose.
Let's do it like this.
Yeah, the different words that they chose and the different choreography. So each one of these persons had choreographed to these different words here. Okay, so touch, babble, slow down, on and on and on. You'll hear it in the scores. Thank you. Okay, and so the program order is, we start with Elisa, so could you raise your hand? Elisa. Karina is next, and she'll be performing, herself and her group will be performing to Bridget's music. Then it's Bridget. There's Bridget. Bridget, raise your hand. Yay! Okay, and then we have Agata. Agata. And then it is Danielle. Let me get, you can see Danielle there. Okay. And then it is Anabertus. Anaberta. And then it's Julie's. Julie. And then Ava. And then we have, back to the States, Hannah. Where's Hannah? There she is. And Alisa. Alisa. There she is. And then Ruta. We end with Ruta's piece. Okay. So, places, everybody. Let me switch out of the iPod. And afterwards, we can have a question and answer session.
Where did it go? No, don't do that. Oops, shoot, there it is.
Filter out the battle, you spongy pink wall. Peeling back the fiberglass mask that keeps me from the heat. Response to my finger, lips, unseen shards. Layers upon layers upon layers of panther pink. Filter out the battle, you only pink wall. Peeling back the fiberglass mask that keeps me from the heat. Response to my finger, lips unseen shards. Filter out the battle, you spongy pink wall. Peeling back the fiberglass mask that keeps me from the heat. Response to my finger lips, unseen shards. Layers upon layers upon layers of panther paint. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Here. Slow down. Slow down. Here. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Here. Here. Slow down. Here. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Here. Yeah. Slow down. Slow down. The rivers go in one breath. The rivers go in one breath. Touch me as when we first met. Touch me as when we first met. Silence makes the time reset. Silence makes the time reset.
An idol that dreams don't touch, and crossbars howl yet back. The touch, a reach, a possibility, a risk to connect. An idol that screams don't touch, and Cross arms, back.
And I freely touch, draw power back, the touch of reach, the possibility of risk and and I freely touch and draw power back, touch of reach. This is crowd. immersion, gesture, texture. This is crowd.
And come on out. Bow. And yeah, there we go. Yay! I'll get my head out of the way. Let's turn up the lights a little bit. No, I guess we can't. Why don't we open this up for any questions that anybody may have? I'm going to switch this around to the audience. Can you switch it around to the audience?
Yes.
And then, Paul, oh, you already did.
We're kind of hamstrung a little bit by chords.
Yeah, I'm moving slowly here, too.
We're. You guys can just come over here, right? Because, yeah, our chords are. Yeah, our chords aren't really letting us turn.
We can slide those. Well,
If you want to stay and ask questions and stuff, come on over. You can bring Dad. Oh. It's not really getting far enough to see.
Here I have more. How's that? I have a lot of people. You want take this down.
you could look up there if you want. But then we can't.
Who's waving hello? Who's that?
We don't have to. I mean, you guys.
Molly and her.
Okay. That looks pretty good. All right. So, do we have any questions?
Can you tell a little bit about the sound design and the sound score?
So, the question is, did you hear the question?
No, kind of. Something about the sound score.
I usually make people come up to the camera.
Okay, you have to? Or maybe you can.
So the question is, this comes from Ramona. What was the concept of the sound score, or how did we arrive at the sound score? So I'm going to switch back to me, because I'm one who's giving this. Well, would you like to provide the answer to that? Why don't you guys speak about the process of the sound score?
You have to get closer to the camera.
I can talk about it for a second.
Okay, Bridget.
Get up there.
Okay, so based on the words that we chose out of that whiteboard that Josephine showed you in the beginning, from the 4 words, and Josephine gave us free range on how we wanted to make those words come alive. What was the word you used, Joe? You said, anyway, essentially it was use it to its full maximum, like take it and use it as many ways as you like. So I interpreted that as taking it to my piano, and so I took it to the piano, and with the rhythms, did we talk about the rhythms, the dynas?
Yes.
So there was 3 different kinds of rhythms that we had. It was it was like slow, fast, fast, slow, fast, fast, slow, and then there was emphasis, unemphasis, emphasis, unemphasis. Anyway, so I took that to the piano, and then I was like, okay, this is cool. I created a rhythm, and then I was like, how can I take this further? And so, or translate this into something new, going along with the theme communication. And so then I took that to my computer, and then I recorded what was on the piano, and I altered it through GarageBand. And then I was like, how can I take this further? So then I added my text that I had written, and I tried to make a lyric out of it with the rhythms and the alternations I had created. And I could have kept going further. It was so much fun, but I had to find a place to end. So that's what I did with mine.
So Bridget's was the. Do you want to sing it for us, Bridget? Just a little bit, so they know, so they can put sound to face.
Feelings. I have to see the text. The fiberglass mask that keeps me from the heat.
Thank you. What some other people, because what they're hearing, Bridget's I did not manipulate very much, because her final sound score was already 6 minutes long, but so that's why Karina danced to it as well, because I wanted to use the full section of it. But some of the other clips were very, very short, and they trusted me enough, well, maybe I didn't even ask permission, I just went ahead and did it. So I went ahead and manipulated everybody's score. So, for example, Alyssa, what is your score that you submitted?
I had this text, gibberish, gesture, texture. This is crowd into the sound. And I manipulated my voice with that, only my voice, and yeah, a little bit of paper. And then Joe added sound effects and also played with my voice in different levels. Yeah.
So in terms of, so what I did, they downloaded all of their text for me, and then from that I used GarageBand, not that we're affiliated with GarageBand or anything, but I used GarageBand to manipulate the text and to expand it. And some people I added sound effects to, or instruments. And then programming was more of an issue of flow, of dancers coming in and out, so we had a logical flow. And then, of course, I wanted, so Anna Berks was singing in hers, and Bridget was singing in hers, so I didn't want those back to back, so I wanted sounds that worked, so there was interest all the way through, and there was diversity. Some other questions from Idaho? Do we have some questions?
Molly has one. Get up here by the camera so we can hear you. So they can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, Molly.
Hello. This is very cool. Good. I just have a question about what the dancers felt was the most significant learning experience from this process. So that's a kind of a broad question if anyone wants to answer. Yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking. I hear a lot of mms.
Oh, I'll talk.
I'll talk.
Yeah, you
can
talk.
I can do that. I'm going to more like answer Molly and over here too.
Hey, Joel?
Yes.
Can you just come over a little bit because you're hidden by the inset? Yeah.
There?
Yes.
That work?
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to both. Now I understand why it's so hard for Joe to do both. For me, it was very exciting and interesting and at times frustrating to use these somewhat new tools that we have, and the learning curve of trying to figure out how best to connect and communicate when there's somewhat of an artificial, because we're not in
we're not face to face with each other, but just trying to slowly build those connections, and slowly get to a point of comfort with the technology, for me, was very cool and very helpful, and hopefully a tool, because I'm interested in dance for the camera. Hopefully it's tools that I can use in the future. Anybody else over here? Yeah.
Do you need translation for any of that?
No. Okay.
Oh, I can.
Oh, Alyssa.
Like.
Get closer to the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just so you know, Alyssa is on the Erasmus. It's a study abroad program, so she's from Finland.
Yeah.
Here in Latvia for the term.
Yeah. But I think that like until today, I just noticed like, wow, we have a cool piece. Okay. I have noticed like that there is coming, like what is coming, like from there, like we have a. You have such a nice material and us, and like how you have made them together. But like how this has been very like bit by bit, like little steps. And today I was like, wow, this looks like. For example, I think that today, just like first time I saw really what you did in the Idaho, and like very nice like scenes, and I don't know I think that now we are at the point that it would be nice to continue like from this point towards like, yeah, see more what is coming.
I just wanted to say that I thought it was really nice to really jump in. Like, we had meetings and it was like, okay, projector. I've actually never been in charge of plugging one in or using one, and laptop and cords, and all of the setup made me realize this kind of connection and these kind of projects, there's really no, they're definitely rougher to get fleshed out, but I really appreciate Joe just pushing us through this and, you know, making assignments and figuring out GarageBand. I'm like clicking rocks together with rhythms that I feel go with my writings that I've made, and I feel really lucky that it's been challenging physically and choreographically, but also using this technology, which I think will help all of us in the future. It's already helped a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yep.
It'll be the last one I'll say. Also, I feel, speaking for, you know, Idaho State University and the rest of the world, I guess, but it's been really, really neat for different schools of learning to connect and communicate. I mean, the global connection for me, and I think I speak for everyone here, has been amazing to connect with, you know, people from Latvia. I mean that really is huge, and what it does is open so many doors for us. I mean, now we're like, hey, I can communicate globally for free, you know, through the internet. I mean, it makes the world accessible, and it's like it's a smaller world than we think now, thanks to technology. And this project has given us the experience and the know-how to be able to connect. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons, well, for me to do this project, because I really wanted to, you know, connect with all of you over there. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, Joe. Thanks, Latvia.
Do we have, thank you, Molly, for your question. Any more questions?
Yes.
Yes, Ramona. Okay. Ramona.
I have a question about, did you, like, participants of the project, like from the States and from Latvia, did you feel each other like personalities, human beings? Like, did you get to know across the space each other? Can I answer?
Yeah. Did you hear the question?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So I feel you then, because there are only 4. So I think that it is easy for me to realize that there are real personalities, and I know how. Okay, I don't know them like very close, but I know them as dancers. Big. But I'm not sure that they recognize all of us. Do you?
I kind of feel like we could keep going for a year, because I feel like we're just maybe in the past 2 or 3 weeks, like I feel like I'm starting to like really get to know you. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop my Monday morning virtual trip to Latvia.
You know, I think the connection really started happening when they started teaching each other their movement. And that's when you actually physically were working with one another, and we had, 3 computers going on or something like that, and they were paired off or tripled off or quartet off, and they were working with each other. As you saw, there was lots of repetition of movement because silence was used a lot, touch. There were a couple other words that were used a lot. So I think there were 9 in silence. And so this last permutation, I started pulling people out because it was really crowded in there, because you could see that they didn't have that much performance space. But yeah, it's when, that is the key when we started sharing movement with each other, that's when they started having the connection. And I think that's really it says a lot about what we do, that through movement, we can be hours away from each other, oceans away from each other, but through movement that we start to learn just a little bit about each other, and that's when the connection started to get really strong. And that's why we're here. All of us are here because of movement, essentially. And that to me is really is very profound, very special. Any other? I don't want to keep everybody here. I know that these guys have to go to class soon. Any more questions over in the States or? Okay. Well, oh, Omar, yeah?
Hi. So what do you feel that you've learned from this process in this virtual world, and what would you share with others to continue to explore this virtual world across oceans? I know that's a big question for anybody.
Maya.
I wanted to answer the previous question as well, not the previous. Yeah. Also about this, I just remembered how actually cool was the first 2 meetings when we just it was opposite direction, and we did on stage and a lot of things, and I think this is that maybe for me is the biggest also feedback, that you can and so many cameras, and then we explore with the mirror and everything, and I think lots of this technique stuff that we actually don't use because we used to work with our bodies. So I think it's always the line not to get too much in technique, and because we are in a way also, but how to combine and what to use together with the dance, and maybe different ways, even not just only connecting like this, but also in the work. This is also one another thing.
Just talk. It's okay.
So, to answer Omar's question for me, I mean, I'll be on Google Plus and on Facebook. So if you guys want to jam together, dance, we could dance in our living rooms. That's what's so cool about this. Like, I'm going to track you guys, and I'm going to be like, oh, look, you know, Agatha is on. I'm going to try to, you know, hang out with her online. And maybe if you guys wanted to collaborate on a project, on a digital project, I'm all for it. So that's how I'm gonna.
I think, let's see. I think for continuing this, and I don't know, words of advice, is you just kind of have to keep pushing through. Because it's a little, like, for me, I know at the first I was having to learn to, because I talk a lot, Bridget and I both talk a lot, and so I was having to learn to be patient and be quiet and listen, and so that was very good. It was very good in terms of, okay, learning to listen so you can connect with somebody else, and just really just continuing to play and experiment with it and not let the frustrations get the better of you. You know, because there's times that we've had a couple of times when Google Plus hung up on us, or our sound, the feedback was happening. And so you just have to kind of embrace those hiccups as part of the process, and what can I learn from those hiccups, and how can I take the frustrations and the things that don't work, how can I learn from those just as much as how can I learn from the things that are working. Come back.
So, how can we do a big group hug? We're going to try a group hug. Okay, so listen. We got to do a group hug.
Come, yeah, Scotty can join us.
Okay, so
This is our friend Scotty.
Okay, here we go. Big group hug. Big group hug. Big group hug.
Hi.
Thank you.
Stay in touch. It's all delayed, so they're just getting it later. So. Okay.
Bye.
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 Thank you, everybody.
Married on your next performance.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you for coming, everybody. Okay. Signing off.
Oh.
I know. I'm like. Okay. Stop the broadcast. All right. You hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
Oh, see, don't make me do that. You hang up.
How about 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, you did it.